If you want to understand what the Bible says about Jesus' birth, you need to first understand what the Hebrew Bible, or the Old Testament, says about the birth of every Jewish child. The book of Leviticus is known as the book of the law. Quite literally, it was the legal manual for people of Israel. And some of the laws had to do with morals, other laws had to do with civil affairs, and still more had to do with ceremonial things. Often, because healthcare in the first century wasn't quite what it is today, there would be laws around things like what to do after childbirth. And here's what Leviticus says about that. It says, when the days of her purification for a son or daughter are over, a child's mother is to bring the priest at the entrance to the tent of meeting a year-old lamb for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a dove for a sin offering. The priest shall then offer them before the Lord to make atonement for her, and then she will be ceremonially clean from her flow of blood. These are the religious regulations for the woman who gives birth to a boy or a girl. But if she cannot afford a lamb, she is to bring 2 doves or 2 young pigeons, one for a burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. In this way, the priest will make atonement for her, and she will be clean. So, about a week after Jesus had been born, his parents, Mary and Joseph, they make their way to the priest to fulfill the requirements of the law. Luke records it this way. He says, when the time came for the purification rites required by the law of Moses, Joseph and Mary took him to Jerusalem to present him, Jesus, to the Lord. As is written in the law of the Lord, every firstborn male is to be consecrated to the Lord, and to offer a sacrifice in keeping with what is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of doves or 2 young pigeons. You see, Mary and Joseph's sacrifice, a sacrifice of doves or pigeons, right? It was the exception that was made for those who were too poor to afford a lamb. Jesus' parents were dirt poor, which basically means that Jesus, at least by our standards, right, earthly standards, was dirt poor as well. Ponder that. Ponder that for a moment. Jesus was born to parents who didn't have it all together. Jesus was born to parents who were probably having the same, oh my goodness, how are we going to make ends meet conversation you and I might be having each and every month. And the fact that Jesus, the Lord of Lords, chose to be born into poverty is a powerful reminder that he gets it. You see, in the Message, Eugene Peterson translates John 1:14 as this way, right? He says this. He says, the Word, which is a name for Jesus, became flesh and blood, and he moved into the neighborhood. And the neighborhood that Jesus moved into, right, it's Section 8 housing with parents who were on food stamps and welfare. And he did so because he wanted you to see that his love and grace is for everyone, including the poor.